So I think a big area of cancer research and certainly the way we're thinking about it is, how are these metabolic networks integrated with these kind of genetic drivers of disease that we're able to kind of diagnose and identify through sequencing, for
Hmm.
instance.
Hmm. And I would imagine, on the one hand, there's many different types of cancer, and they're all going to have their own unique aspects, but cancer generally, right, that they have to be able to these cells have to fuel their growth. There are probably sort of relatively general things that most cancers get good at that allow them to be cancer or become cancer or allow them to persist and grow as cancer. And one of them that you mentioned has to do with nutrient acquisition. And so some cancers have the highly expressed transporters that allow them to basically just suck up nutrients from the environment more than our cells otherwise would, and
Exactly.
therefore
Yep.
they're just sort of just take more of their fair share from the nutrients that are in the body.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so let's go over the breast cancer basics. One of the things, we're going to talk about one form of breast cancer in your study, and so I want people to appreciate the different forms of breast cancer. And the other thing here that this ties into that I think is interesting, that maybe we'll get into a little bit, is like how the different subtypes of cancer and some of the other partitions we can make among people sort of prevents us from seeing things that are nonetheless like true aspects of biology. And so let's just start with the different subtypes of breast cancer. What are the major forms here, and what are their major distinguishing features?
Sure. So, I mean, so breast cancer is a highly heterogeneous disease. So I think this was kind of first realized in the early 2000s when kind of sequencing of different breast cancer tumors was done. And so I think at a high level, breast cancers can be divided into hormone receptor positive. So these are cell lines, or these are tumors that express, for instance, the estrogen receptor, progesterone receptor, and then the HER2 receptor. And then within those, you have distinctions into luminal A, luminal B, based on the balance of estrogen and progesterone receptor expression, and then HER2 amplified,
Triple negative,
and then
triple positive.
triple positive as well. So tumors that express all three receptors. And then the other kind of subtype that's it's largely accepted to be the more aggressive subtype. It has an incidence that occurs earlier in, for instance, a woman's life. So diagnoses usually occur in the late 30s, maybe even 40s, and it's associated with more aggressive diseases as triple negative subtype. So these are tumors that lack expression of all hormone receptors. And really what makes this subtype in particular really difficult to treat is that there aren't really any targeted or personalized therapies against this subtype. So when you think in particular of hormone receptor positive and tumors that have estrogen receptor in particular, for instance, there are clear hormone therapies that if a patient has this tumor type, a specific drug can be prescribed, the same for HER2 amplified tumors. But really for triple negative, because they don't have these clearly defined biomarkers, the standard of care at the moment is just chemotherapy. There are some exciting trials coming out looking at, antibody drug conjugates and immunotherapy,